What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are all having a great start to your February. Now, one of the most common questions I've been getting recently with posting my profits on social media is to do a bit of a recap on how I've been doing, my percentages overall in the month, and kind of an idea of how I trade and what I look for. So with this video, I'm looking to dive into last month's profits and give you guys kind of a rough idea of how my mind works with this. So let's get into it. So just opening up my web broker here. I normally use TD myself personally. I've just found their advanced web broker gets the job done for me, but all of us are different. You might find one that works better for you. There's no real, it just all comes down to your preferences. But diving in there, this is for the month of January, going from January 4th, the first trading day, I believe, of the year, all the way to the 26th, the end of the year. I was just doing swing trades, so there's no confirmed profits. But taking a peek at this bad boy, you can definitely see it was a spicy looking month there. We capitalized at almost 78%, which as a total from my beginning balance of just under 20K was about $14,768. So definitely my best month of all time right now. Can't complain with that. Super blessed for the opportunity to get in these kind of markets. But yeah, you can just seeing there, I did have a bit of slip up mid-month that kind of limited me from getting these profits. The first day was actually down almost 400, so that was a stinger to start 2021. But we rallied strong. The second day, once you're hitting 4 digits kind of thing, I shoot for 1% a day. So my portfolio now is roughly about 30K after I took some profits out to pay for a few things. So we're shooting at about $300 a day, which in my opinion, percent a day is totally doable. It all comes down to the mind sense and just finding things that are a good deal. But diving into this bad boy, we got, first day was red, jumped up to 1,536 there. So that was with a 20K portfolio. You're looking about a 7% day. That was a massive day there. I was playing off the volatility. All of these stocks that I was using was in the electric vehicle sector. So a lot of my criteria with Biden coming into presidency, the push for renewable energy, was to move more of my funds in that direction. Both my plays were pretty much with Canadian nickel producer, the Canadian Nickel Company, CNC, ticker symbol CNC.V, as well as on the US side. I mainly focused on, I believe it's Vivo Power or VVPR. Both of these were traded probably about 15-20 times throughout these days, and was just looking for good value. So a lot of the indicators I used was your moving average as well as your relative strength index. A lot of these gave a good idea of when they were overbought or oversold and where to buy and sell. They always say don't rely on one indicator for your trades, but I just found this month things were flowing well. You could kind of see, the support and resistance pretty clearly, and it was easy to buy and sell. I was actually more profitable buying and selling numerous times a day than just holding. But a lot of times, despite, what a lot of people say, swing trades can't always be the best. It takes a little bit of the fear and risk out of entry and exit points and just gives you a better idea. You're kind of flowing with the market a bit better. If it's a bullish market, it's the easier way to go, honestly, there, that you don't have to be staring at the phone or the screen as much. And you'll honestly, half the time you benefit more, so it never hurts in that sense. But diving back at the chart here, I mean, honestly, the first few days, like the first week here, I was just capitalizing on a big bullish run. Nothing bad there. So looking at January 11th there, that was my first red day. That was quite the stinger. I mean, when, you have an account value of almost 24,000 and you blow, 2,000 a day, that was me just over trading there. I was getting greedy with it. I saw how great the first month could go. And in my mind, I just thought accelerate it the best I can. A good tip of advice. Honestly, the most movement comes in the first half hour to the day. It gets wishy-washy and just kind of iffy trading as it goes on. So personally for me, if I've had a good day in the start, if I can lock in profits, it's nice just to walk away from the computer, get on with the day, go snowboarding, surfing, whatever you're into, but just, and just give you a chance to relax. I mean, looking at the tickers all day is super stressful, especially knowing how much money you have on the line. So I personally recommend, if you can lock in profits and everything, just get in, get out, and just enjoy your day. Because, I mean, the last thing we want to do with becoming financially free is, stressing about the money that you're working towards to become financially free. But jumping ahead from January 11th there, the next few days were pretty good. This was the only real wishy-washy section of the month. I mean, the next day I fully recovered and then some. I mean, it was, you're pushing almost close to $3,000 a day. Jumping at these numbers, I mean, you're looking at over, in this sense, you're looking at over 10%. These were just a huge bullish run with the electric vehicles. I believe in the news they were pushing this. This was right around a week away from inauguration for Biden. So I was pushing off the hype of the media and just, forecasting to see how his tax plan would go and some of the benefits. This also was, I believe, when CNC, the company I was looking at, they started boasting about their nickel mine and the percentage of how pure the nickel is. The reasons I focused on the nickel mine was mainly due with Tesla and other EV companies. So for those who don't know, electric vehicles, you're going to need a battery, of course, to run it. But a lot of these compounds in the batteries are actually, core minerals and materials that are found in Canada. Canada has a lot of smaller mines, or junior mines they call it, waiting to be developed and bought out by bigger firms. So if you can capitalize on finding these small kind of, niche or hidden mines, I guess you could say, before they begin mining, you can kind of capitalize on the profits and get exponential growth. So both CNC and Giga were ones I was looking at this point. I was trading a bit of them both, but Giga just wasn't moving in my favor, so we pushed back to CNC for most of these trades, honestly. This was the first day that we pushed the nickel composition and just the purity of it, and once this released in the news, everyone jumped on board. It was the next day, I believe I was up about 400 starting the day, blew out a trade of about 500. It was just up and down. Honestly, it would have been a better day just to stand away from the keyboard, but this was just one of those months I got greedy. It's trading all comes down to your emotions, but a big part of this for me was I was just getting greedy with it. Seeing those kind of percentages beginning the month, like up 20-some%, your mind kind of runs, and that's what you get. You get burned sometimes. But the next day I recovered, another $1,000 day. These felt good. This is when I was really starting to get a lot of messages on social media asking how I was doing, what I was doing. I was letting people know my ticker symbols, but you can hear about a ticker, but if you don't know the proper buy and sell positions or the indicators, just how to trade, it's not going to be profitable for you either way, unless you're just trying to hold for the long term. But a lot of these companies are pretty risky as is. I don't know how long I'd hold them overall. So jumping off that, we had the 15th. This was one of the days in the news. The whole market was just flooded red. There was no hope for trades whatsoever. I should have cashed in the previous day. I believe I bought a lot of market open there, thinking that we'd have another bullish day, or even just kind of recover. It was slightly in the red that day on the 15th, so I was hoping that the S&P and everything else would make a recovery, but it just continued to slide. I believe the whole index was down close to 2%, so you win some, you lose some. Those are the kind of days that, unless you're shorting or trying to find, smaller different companies, best just stand away from the computer and, keep your profits for the next day. But you live and you learn. And then between the 15th and 18th over the weekend, I wasn't really, the next day came around, I was a little nervous with the markets, a bit of buying, a bit of selling, but they were pretty low positions. I cut my positions, smaller amounts, smaller percentage of the total portfolio if I don't feel confident in the market. This was another wishy-washy day. I still locked in $81, so I'm super fortunate for that. I'm not complaining. But there are just some days I don't feel comfortable trading the full portfolio. And if you don't feel comfortable, it's best just to stand back or trade with smaller positions until you can feel comfortable. I didn't really see any great buy-ins or sells, but a quick little percentage here and there, and got the job done. But ending this position was when it just shot off. This is when we had another huge bull run. From the 18th to the 20th here, we were jumping up almost $3,000 again. This was solely off CNC and VVPR. The past few days I kind of diversified my trades and was just getting wishy-washy with unknowing the companies. These companies did research for numerous nights, kind of have an idea of what I was going for. So I jumped right into the markets there. I was doing, constant buys and sells, limit orders, limit buys, and just kind of just had my mind sense in a way. I, kind of erased the days before, day's a new day, and put my head down to it and just, try to get some profit, so that this was an excellent day. Couldn't complain there. If every day was like that, it'd be the dream. I'd be happy as could be. The following day, similar thing. All the companies were kind of in a bullish run. They were following a pattern day to day. It wasn't honestly anything that fancy. The last day I locked in that kind of money, and my mind sense was, if the market follows a similar pattern, let's just do the exact pattern again. I find a lot of people trying to complicate their trades, and honestly, you can try to flex on people saying like you're smarter than them for trying to do these trades here and there, but at the end of the day, if you can make good percentages and profits of just doing the same thing over and over again, why would you even bother trying to switch it up? It's easy to go, and you don't have to stress about it as much once you kind of understand what you're playing with. So that was it for that day to that day. And the final stretch there, that was a huge one there, skipping over a few days. In the span of a few days, we managed to go from almost 30,000, just shy of 30,000, to just shy of 34,000. And that was just the home stretch, really. I mean, in that sense, wasn't a whole lot. A lot of these companies were hitting their peaks. VVPR went all the way from $10 at the beginning of the month, all the way up to 19. CNC was going from about $2.25 at the beginning of the month, all the way up to $2.75. But the secret was I was kind of catching those bounces, and like I might go from like $2.15 in CNC to $2.30, sell it and rebuy in at $2.20. So it was just capitalizing on exponential growth and just being able to get a bigger percentage than what the market had to offer, I guess, if you were to hold. That being said, a lot of my trades were from the chairlift at the ski hill over this month. Super fortunate to have the opportunity to kind of have a job in a sense that you can kind of make this sick returns while doing the things you love. So that's kind of the goal, financial freedom, and that's what we got there. Below here just does the balance trends and all the changes in case you were interested. This is all the day-to-day trends that you're looking at. So as I said, we were starting at about 19,000 and we ended right around 34. Definitely best month ever. This month so far has been a little off. I am on the road to recovery, but I did get a little cocky with GNC and a few other things. Still made a few thousand in GNC, but I burned myself on another penny stock there. So we're still up, but we got a ways to go to make last month's profits, but we'll see how we can do it. So just to give you a better recap of some of the trades, I'm actually going to open up the advanced web broker I was talking about and kind of give you the technical analysis of some of the trades and just the direction of some of these. So we will remove some of these YOLO trades here, and I'll start with CNC because that was one of my big ones I've been doing research on. So jumping into the Canadian Nickel Company there, if we go on the we'll go on the 3-month here just to give you an idea. And so looking at the beginning of the month, you can kind of see the big uptrend here. CNC get a massive boost. As you can see, beginning of the month wasn't a perfect buy-in for the relative strength index, but you could see it wasn't super overbought. It went up here, and you could start to see once it got super overextended. I got mine at 17 and 30 right now. Normally I keep a lot of them for 20 and 80, but I find with Canadian stocks don't move as much, so this kind of gives a good indication. But it started going up. I started capitalizing on some of the trades here. I made a lot of money on the 7th and the 11th here with these kind of big swings. So this was definitely a big day for these. This is where I started to get burned. I should have followed the RSI, but as I said, I was getting greedy with these kind of profits. So just looking at here near the end of the month, actually, where we were looking at, where the 24th was actually right before it started doing another bullish run. I think I closed trading on right around these days here. So just the beginning of the jump. We did manage to capitalize on this day. This was near the end where it was almost a 4,000 a few days. I mean, when you're looking at a company jump from about 225 all the way up to 260, those are huge returns kind of thing. Like if you're getting 15% off some of these companies. So a lot of trading off there. I mean, there are patterns you can see off this. You got an ascending wedge up here. It plateaus, can't break the resistance here, starts coming down, creates a new support. A lot of the plays that you're looking for on companies like this, if you draw the little wedges coming down here, once it successfully breaks the wedge, it shoots back up. And as you can see with a secondary wedge here, once you're breaking the pattern, it shoots up in the direction of the broken curve 9 or 10 times with this company. So I was able to kind of capitalize on understanding the pattern here and just working off it. As I said, I mean, the only money I really lost with this one was getting greedy near the top here. And I had indicators telling against it, but sometimes you can make money in a bull market or bear market if you got the right plays. I was just trying to catch a falling knife and I got burned, but that's trading for you. So jumping over to my other big trade that we were doing, it was VVPR, Vivo Power. This is a similar company in the regards it's in the same sector. It's working on renewable energy. As you can see, beginning of the year with the whole talk about the Biden inauguration, it was clear to see beginning of the month here, you're trading at only around, $8.50, at the low point. Even to hold up until this point, you're still making a ton of money. But I was just looking on some of these bounces here. Same spot here that I got burned, kind of overextended, kind of, risked it a bit more. But yeah, in easiest senses, I mean, once you can start to see a pattern going up, you can kind of go up. A lot of the favor with this company I find is once the volume shoots up, its chances are, if you get a lot of volume, it's in a bullish pattern. So the biggest volume days are a lot of the times the peak, or at least their days they're going to peak for the short term. No matter how you look at it here, you know, you're playing with fire with a lot of these companies. I mean, this one a year ago was only a few cents, so you got to be super careful there. A lot of my idea with it was get in, get out. There were a few swing trades I was doing with VVPR, but this actually was more so day trading or just pre-market into the day. I found with this one it would have a big bounce in pre-market, and you could kind of see the volume shoot up or shoot down depending on if it was overbought or oversold, but always gave in good buying opportunities, or at least see that there would be one. So I definitely focused heavily on this one. And as you can see, I mean, coming up to January 24th was when we hit this massive spike here. This was kind of you know, my final blow. This was the big money at the end of the year there, or the big money at the end of the month you saw. This really helped get the 4K where it was there, but definitely a riskier swing trade on that, because once it hit this point, you know, you started to get a wedge going down, started to get this big wedge going up, and I mean, you can see the volume, it just shot through the roof here. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am thinking of doing some live trading sessions that I'd actually stream my trading at market open. So if that's something that would interest you, drop a comment below and let me know. And yeah, as always, let's make this month even better than last, and let's stay safe and stay sendy. Take it easy, guys.